gourmet next door. So I'm going to be making lahmacun. I don't know if you guys know this, but this is very typical Turkish. Sorry everyone else, but this is ours. So lahmacun is a very thin flatbread, and the topping is very non-traditional, which is ground beef, onions, and lots of spices. So I've been craving lahmacun, so today I said, you know what, I'm going all the way. So let's walk through the ingredients. So first we're gonna need 100 grams of flour, and then I have some instant yeast here. Then I have about, I don't know, 50-60 grams of ground beef. I'm actually using 80-20 mix again. So inside I'm gonna put 2 shallots. You can also use a regular onion. I have 1 garlic clove. I'm going to serve it with lime, so that's what I have. And then for the serving, the garnish, I also will use some red onion. Now in terms of spices, I'm going to be using crushed chilies, ground sumac, and some tomato paste. We have some olive oil, little bit salt, and some fresh parsley. And I'm gonna use a little bit of sugar just to wake up the yeast. And with that, let's get lahmacuning. Guys, before I do anything, I wanna show you my hot stone, my pizza stone. I'm going to be putting this in my oven to heat up. The oven is already turned on to 250 degrees. You wanna go as high as your oven will go. So it's preheating at the moment. I'm gonna go ahead and put this pizza stone in there because I want it nice and hot. The reason I use this is to get the crust really crispy, but if you don't have this, you can actually use like a regular kind of a metal pan and then cook it on top of it. So let's go ahead and start with our dough because it's gonna take just a little bit of time for the yeast to do its magic. So the first thing I'm gonna go ahead and add is 100 grams of all-purpose flour. Now we are baking, right? So make sure you measure everything. I'm gonna go ahead and add this water. This is about 60 milliliters or so. Now I'm gonna make a little well in the middle, and I will try to pour the water in there. Excellent. And then I'm gonna use 1 little teaspoon active instant yeast. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that thing in the middle with the water. Now I'm going to just add a pinch of sugar. Just a pinch. Because sugar actually activates the yeast, just like the warm water. So I want to go ahead and give this a bit of a mix, and then I will add the salt. Now let's go ahead and add the salt. So it will be once again 1 teaspoon of salt. Perfect. Because what you need is a clean surface to be able to work this dough a bit. So we're gonna knead this dough. I love the smell of yeast. It smells a bit sour. So I'm gonna go ahead and lightly flour my surface and then put my dough here. Now we want to be able to knead this dough for a few minutes until it gets nice and soft. So we want to be able to knead with the back of our palm. Okay, and then turn it over. I mean, I'm not a kneader, okay? So this is also some new tips and tricks for me. But you want to roll it. So basically what I want is, I want this dough to become shiny. Meaning, I don't want all these crusty pieces. Smells so nice. I'm already hungry. So I'm just gonna stretch the dough a little bit with my hands. I love playing with dough. It's very therapeutic, actually. The only thing is you don't want to overwork the dough. So it's looking really nice and shiny, not lumpy anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this dough into 2. So make them some nice little ball. and then drop it in your bowl. So I got my 2 pieces of dough here, and then I have a moist paper towel here. I'm gonna go ahead and cover these guys because I don't want the outside to be all crusty. And now let's park this and move on to our delicious filling. So for the filling, I'm going to be using 2 shallots, but you can absolutely use onion. So probably like half an onion should be enough. Guys, I'm dropping my shallots into the food processor. Now, why we're using a food processor is as follows, because lahmacun, this filling has to be really smooth kind of filling. So you don't want any big chunks in there. That's why we're using the little food processor. Now into this, I will also add my garlic. Now I'm using 1 clove, but if you really love garlic, you can use more. So I'm just gonna give this just a chop in the middle and throw it in there. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and add a handful of parsley, fresh parsley. It's gonna give us that super fresh taste. With that, let's go ahead and give this a whiz. Oh. Smells like home, I can't wait. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my ground beef. Now it comes to the magical touches. So here I'm adding tomato paste because I don't have tomato sauce. So I'm gonna add a little bit water just to make sure I have the right consistency. So I'm adding a couple of tablespoons of tomato paste. Now the other thing I'm adding is sumac. Sumac is this sour note, and it's gonna give our lahmacun a beautiful taste. Perfect. And then I'm gonna add some crushed chilies because I love things spicy. Perfect. Let's go ahead and add some salt. 2 good pinches. Yeah, you want the filling to have lots of great flavor. And some black pepper. I'm adding a tiny bit of water to make sure that, again, the tomato paste becomes more like tomato sauce. Let's put the hat back on this guy and give it a little mix. Now I'm gonna go ahead and transfer this mixture, which is already paste-like, into my bowl. So the onions, the main role of the onion is to make the meat softer. You want it to be a paste. I just want to show you this texture because this is very important. You see, it's totally spreadable. So if your mixture is not doing this, that means it needs just a little bit of water, and then it's going to be perfectly spreadable. Now is the time to roll out our dough and then basically put this thing together. So now the dough is really nice, elastic. Guys, trust me or not, I have one of these guys. It's a rolling pin. So nice. Now I'm sticking a little bit to the rolling pin, which means we need to use a little bit flour just to dust the outside. I'm definitely having a wonderful time with this recipe, guys. So if your board is moving, all you have to do is to put a towel under it, and mine is moving all over the place, so I'm going to put a towel under it, and that's going to secure my base. Do you see? It doesn't move anymore. So let's add a little bit more flour. This is my favorite dish in the entire Turkish cuisine. So every time I land, my dad or my mom will take me to a place to eat lahmacun immediately because it's so good. And like really, I can have a couple of these guys easy. And it's really actually balanced for you. I mean, you got your carbs, you got your meat, you got your veggies. So it's not that bad. Have you ever seen the rolling pin dance? That's what I thought I would show you. And I can guarantee you mine is not gonna be like a perfect circle, but that's okay. Again, all I have to impress is my mouth. That's it. So, I can see my fingers. That means it's done. Now I want to go ahead and put half of this mixture. And then you want to nicely layer this mixture on the dough. And you don't want to go all the way to the edges, but I want to get as close as possible because I want every bite to have that nice, beautiful mixture. This guy is done. It's ready to go into the oven. Okay, so we are back in business. This is super hot. Now let's go ahead and transfer our beautiful lahmacun. Okay. Now we're going in the 250-degree oven, and I'm gonna bake this probably for about 4 minutes or so. The only thing I wanna do is add a little bit of olive oil. That is it. Guys, as I'm waiting for my wonderful lahmacun to cook, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the garnishes because once this thing is cooked, I am not waiting 1 more minute. So what I'm gonna do is I will cut this onion in rings. I think half an onion should do. And I wanna slice them thin because I'm going to put some sumac on them and let them marinate. It's just gonna provide a really nice crunch when we're eating the lahmacun, and it's a very, very typical, let's say, topping for lahmacun in Turkey. Into my onion, I will put a bit of sumac again and a squeeze of lemon juice. I got lime, so I will use lime. So I'm gonna give this a nice little stir. Guys, I want to show you this. Look at this lahmacun. It looks gorgeous. All right, let's move this guy out so we can cook the other one. I want to show you this. This is how thin lahmacun is. So please go ahead and enjoy the carbs. Oh, I will. So the way we are going to eat the lahmacun is we will put, first of all, our onions with the sumac, and then some parsley leaves, squeeze of lemon or lime, and then some red pepper. If you want more chili flakes, you can add that. And that's it. We're gonna roll it and eat it. So as I'm waiting for the second one to cook, I'm gonna actually show you how to go ahead and eat this. I'm going to put some beautiful red onions. And let's take our beautiful parsley and squeeze of lemon, remember? The lemon just kind of lights up the whole thing because, meat can be heavy and fatty, so it kind of makes it lighter, in my opinion. Guys, I left the second one a little bit less because this one is super crunchy, so I wanted a bit more doughy. So I left it a little bit less than this gorgeous thing. So now is the time that we are going to be rolling this thing and eating it. Oh, it's too crunchy. Super, super crunchy. So I'm having a hard time actually rolling it. You should be able to roll this thing, okay? But hey, for a first try, it's not bad. Oh, look at that, how beautiful that looks. So, guys, I can't wait. I'm going in. So good. Honestly, the dough is so thin. The filling is delicious. It's spicy. Then you have those toppings which give a bit of freshness and crunchiness. It's so good. I can definitely eat those two and possibly more. Delicious. Give this recipe a try if you're interested in this kind of food. If you love crunchy lahmacun, this is the recipe for you. Thanks for watching. Stay home, stay safe, and eat more lahmacun.